I'm sorry about that, you all. I could not find the tab. Having technical difficulties. So thanks everyone for tuning in once again to Queen Amadaya TV presents True Crimes. Okay, so we're gonna get into this nefarious story in just a moment. Let's see who's in here. Hello, Flow Records, Misfits, Tanaya, Lady E, Azan, Ayon, Maat Bay, Howard, Terry. Okay, let's get into it, people. Another nefarious story. Now listen to this. A white man kills his biracial daughter. Hold on. Pop-ups, people. Here we go with the pop-ups. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let me start it back over. Okay, so a white man kills his biracial daughter and then turns himself in. Now, this happened a couple of years ago, back in August of 2019. I remember reporting this story back on Facebook. Very crazy. Okay? Now, a North Carolina man turned himself into authorities after he confessed that he killed his 15-year-old daughter. Now, according to People, the publication People, that is, the publication magazine, says Joshua Lee Burgess walked into the Union County Sheriff's Office and informed a dispatcher that he was there to turn himself in because he had just killed someone. Now, the deputies later confirmed that the person in question was his biracial daughter, Zaria Burgess. After first responders found the body of the teen inside the home, her father was formally arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Now, Burgess has yet to enter a plea at the time, but he was scheduled to return to court the following month. Local station WSOC reported that during the preliminary hearing, that the court learned that the 32-year-old had strangled his daughter prior to slitting her throat. Although a motive was yet to be determined, many suspected it was a racially motivated attack. Now, they say, I think this was as much of a shock to Zaria's mother as it has been to anyone who knows the victim, that it was just out of the blue, a spokesperson said of the Union City Sheriff's Office. This is what they told the Daily News. They said, and I don't think anybody saw it coming. The teen, who's primarily with her mother, routinely visited her father on the weekends. And it was during one of those visits when the murder took place, and her family is understandably devastated. They were also confused. Now, they said she was the type of kid that would come into the room or in the house and say, hey, everybody, just wanted to make everyone smile. This is what the victim's cousin, Natasha Wadsworth, said. She was so young, and nobody deserves to leave this world like that, especially by someone they thought was going to protect them and be there for them. Now, shortly after his arrest, the Union County Sheriff's Office also charged Burgess with statutory rape, first-degree statutory sex offense, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. The details of this murder were indescribable. Every officer and every detective involved in the case was feeling the effects of what happened to this child. Sheriff Eddie Cathy said that in a statement, that everyone was clearly upset. They said there is no logical answer to explain why this man did what he's accused of. I'm going to show you a news clip in a moment, but let me tell you all something. I'm going to tell you what I said back then. Satanists, people who worship the devil and belong to those cults and groups, they do these types of things all the time. It's nothing new. Clearly, I wasn't shocked. And they also kill people for sacrifices and all kinds of other crazy things. We've all heard about it, I'm sure. So with that all being said, after I did a bit of digging back then, they absolutely did say that he was into Satan worship. Okay? So I was right. Just like I knew it, honey. This all reeked of SRA, which is satanic ritual abuse. Okay? And this is often committed by the very parents of the kids. So nefarious. Let me show you all this video. Terry, I cannot with you. Terry is going all in. And yes, Terry, I agree. Now listen to this. I'm going to let you all see this video. Let me see if this is going to play. It's acting crazy. Let me try to go out and come back in. I hate when it does that. Let me try it again, people. Why would it play? I don't know what's wrong with it. Let me try to find it on YouTube. Let me try to find it on YouTube. Here he is right here. And here's a picture of them looking all happy. Let's look at this one. Hold on, let me pull this one up. So sad. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share the footage. Thank you in advance.
Of this young girl. Deputies say this young girl from Union County, with her entire life ahead of her, was murdered by her own father. Now, this afternoon, Channel 9 was there in the courtroom as her father, Joshua Burgess, made his first appearance. Channel 9's Tina Terry also talked to other members of the young girl's family.
And she's live in the neighborhood, and she was visiting her father this weekend, Tina, when this happened.
Yeah, neighbors here are so stunned by this, Scott and Erica. That 15-year-old girl, Zaria Burgess, was in this neighborhood. As you said, she was visiting her father who lives here. And deputies are telling us that he murdered his daughter and then turned himself in. Zaria Burgess, a bright 15-year-old with an innocent smile. Tonight, family members told me Zaria was sweet and loved her family.
She was just the type of kid that would come in the room or come in the house and say, hey, everybody, just wanted to make everybody feel so.
They say Zaria was getting ready to start her freshman year at Monroe High. But this weekend, she was visiting her dad's house on Hampton Meadows Road near Monroe. Sunday morning, her dad, Joshua Burgess, walked into the sheriff's office and told the dispatcher he murdered Zaria.
He stopped her and said, you're not going to find my name. I've just killed someone. And at that point, the red flag started to go off.
Deputies say Burgess gave them detailed information about his daughter's death and where he left the body. In court this morning, officials told the judge Burgess strangled his daughter, then slit her throat. Today, deputies offered no motive.
It's just pure evil.
And as they remember Zaria, family members are trying to understand what would cause her very own father to take her life.
She was so young, and nobody deserves to leave this world like that, especially by someone they thought that was going to protect them and be there for them.
And in court, Burgess kept his head very low. It was hard to see his facial expressions. He made very little eye contact. Officials argued that he should not be released on bond, and the judge agreed with that. He will appear in court again next month. Back to you guys.
Honestly, it just leaves you speechless, Tina. Just the details of that. Pure evil is a good way to describe it. Thank you.
It always gets me when they say pure evil. How many types of evil are there? Yes, absolutely a psychopath. I agree. Her own father, that one should have protected, the one that should have protected her. Disgusting, satanic, evil devil. Remember this story. And he raped her, honey. That's just also crazy. Now, notice they don't mention that in the news broadcast. Okay? That's clearly what it did. So sad. Anyway, I don't know what led him to do that, but like I said, I believe it had something to do with that satanic worship he was dealing in. Because that was the first thing that caught my attention. I said he had to be into some kind of, was he possessed by a demon? I don't think he was, because he was acting normal until then, right? Hadn't had any outbursts or doing anything strange or crazy that anyone was, mentioned. But then when they went and looked a little further, found out that he was involved with Satan worship. So clearly, that's why he was so nefarious. Absolutely. And now that is the type of person that you would deem as a psychopath, okay? Because clearly he had no conscience. And then when he went and turned himself in, he wasn't crying. He didn't seem all upset. He wasn't all, like stressed out, worried, regret, remorseful. Any of that. Just went down and told him he did it. Sacrificial, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Silent D, beloved. That's just all so crazy. So, I don't know, honey. People do a lot of crazy things at the end of the day. But that was very strange. And the whole thing is, it was so unexpected, like they said. The girl would come over there every weekend. She came by that weekend, and I think her friend had been there with her. And then her friend left. And then the father just pounced on her. Right? Raped her and all of that. Then choked her. And everything. It was really crazy. Really crazy. So anyway. There's another story of a man that was charged with strangling his 15-year-old daughter. Or is this the same story? Hold on. Hold on, people. This is the same story. But when you see these pictures of them, that just doesn't even go together. Hold on. Let me read this to you all. And let me show you all some of these pictures. Because clearly, he seems like his mind just completely snaps. I'm going to show you all these pictures in a moment. But anyway, it goes on to talk about how he killed his 15-year-old daughter when she visited him at his home. Okay, on August the 18th of 2019. He killed his 15-year-old daughter over the weekend, turned himself in. Investigators said the teen was visiting him for the weekend. Actually, just knowing the guy just a little bit, playing football with him a couple of times, it's just crazy how sad and tragic that is. This is what Michael Sullivan, who grew up with the suspect, said. Somebody who grew up with him, they had no idea he was crazy, I guess. Deputies said they found the victim in the suspect's home after he showed up at the sheriff's office and told investigators what happened. This is just a case where it's pure evil. And this is what the chief said. He readily admitted what had transpired. Didn't have a bit of remorse. Didn't seem like it. The official cause of death hadn't been released per the autopsy at the time of this report. Now they say this happened in Union County. He killed his daughter, and then the deputies in Union County were trying to piece together what led to a 15-year-old girl's death after her father walked into the sheriff's office that Sunday morning and confessed to killing her. He was held without bond, and the detectives told Channel 9 that Burgess, age 32, walked up to dispatchers around 9:30 a.m. in the morning and told them that he was there to turn himself in because he had just killed his daughter, 15-year-old Zaria Burgess, inside the Wesley Chapel home. When a dispatcher tried to look him up in the system, deputy said Burgess told her she wouldn't find his name and that he was there because he had just killed someone who was visiting him at his home for the weekend. Then Channel 9 News reporter Tina Terry was in court that following Monday morning for Burgess for his first appearance, and said there was a collective gasp inside the courtroom when officials detailed exactly what he had allegedly done to his daughter. This time, they said Burgess strangled her, then slit her throat. though they would not elaborate on what led to this horrific crime. Zaria was a sweet teen and loved by the family. Let me tell y'all something. They know that he killed her in a satanic ritual. They know this, and I'm going to tell you why I believe this. They said they would not reveal, they would not elaborate on what led up to the horrific crime. So if they wouldn't elaborate, that means they knew, but they just didn't want to say. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something. There's a lot of these little small towns and things like that where they have all this satanic stuff going on, and they don't want anybody knowing about it. Now, there was a case that I watched not too long ago. It happened years ago, but I can't remember who sent me the video. But anyway, there was the whole story about these children who were being supposedly molested at a daycare and stuff like that. And I did a story on, I think it was the McMartin daycare, but I think this is another story. But anyway, these kids were saying all this crazy stuff, and it sounded so far-fetched. Like you would think, how can these children know these things? But somebody had to be doing it for them to even be saying it. But they want to keep that on the hush, okay? And if you remember the story of those boys that were supposed to be Satan worshipers, vampires or whatever, and they supposedly killed the 2 7-year-old kids, and then they went to prison, and then, you know, celebrities and stuff started coming out talking about they were innocent, like Johnny Depp and a couple of other people, you know, were fighting to get them out of prison, saying they don't think they did it. I'm like, they don't think they did it. Are y'all vampires too? Please, the evidence pointed right to them, okay? Yes, all right. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, all right? So anyway, someone named Kiki Trills posted this on Facebook. They said, OMG, RIP Princess Zaria. Yesterday, this girl was staying a weekend at her dad's house, expecting a good and fun day. Ended up not being so fun or good. He strangled her, raped her, and slit her throat. Then had the nerve to go to the police station and tell them that he was turning himself in because he had just killed his 15-year-old daughter at his home while she had spent the weekend with him. This hurts so, this is so heartbreaking. All she wanted to do was spend the weekend with her dad. She didn't deserve that at all, especially from someone who's supposed to love and protect you from the monsters in this world, but ended up being a monster. This world and the people are nothing but heartless and insane. Prayers for her. Did y'all see the look on his face? Let me show y'all this picture because he clearly looks crazy. And they say the details of the murder are indescribable. Every officer was moved. Okay, so I'm going to show you all some of these pictures. Clearly crazy. And I wonder if he had been planning this and plotting it the whole time, or if he just decided to, oh yeah, they stay on code, honey. They stay on code. That is what they will do. I just wonder if he had already planned this out, or if it was just the spur of the moment. He thought of it when she got there. Who knows? Who knows with devils? Let me zoom in so you all can see a better picture of this. There he is looking so crazy and bug-eyed. I don't know what's going on there. There's Zaria. She was a beautiful girl. He don't look so crazy right there, but clearly not to be trusted. There she is again, and that's a picture of him. Honey, I'm sorry, but he looks like a demon to me. No doubt about that in my mind. Oh, has that Lucifer look. Yeah. Absolutely. Terry says the demon. Absolutely. Louise said meth. I don't think drugs made him do that. I think it was satanic worship, honey. That's all crazy nevertheless. Whatever nefarious reason he did it, I hope they gave him the biggest penalty ever. Okay? Because that was real crazy. He should have got the death penalty. Judah Queen said he been plotting. He probably was, honey. You know that. Probably had it all planned and mapped out. You're right. You are so right. I just wonder what made him go and turn himself in. Likely because he knew there was no way he wasn't going to get caught. I mean, the child came to his house for the weekend when her mother came to pick her up or whatever, or if he was supposed to bring her home and he didn't, or the mother came and she wasn't there, he'd have to answer to somebody. So maybe that's why he did it. And I'm willing to bet you he played crazy through the whole trial. Okay? The #1 trump card. So anyway, Judah Queen said her internet went out. I hate to hear that, beloved. Well, anyway, people, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning back in once again to Queen Amadai TV Presents True Crimes. I know I said I was going live on the Paranormal Channel tonight, but I am so tired, people. Give me a break, okay? Now, since I'm not going live on there tonight, I promise I will go live on there twice tomorrow evening, all right? Okay. Judah Queen said the lights were flickering. Don't be trying to scare me, honey. Ain't no lights flickering over here, okay? Oh, you talking about your lights were flickering? Oh, yes, yes. That's how it does. It's probably about to storm, you know, or rain or something like that. Yep. Thank you, beloved Louise. You have a blessed night also. So I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Enjoy the rest of this night and enjoy your weekend, people. All right. Thank you, family. Make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And until next time, Royal Family, I'll talk to you all again soon. Peace.